So let's take a look at practice probe for the map scales. On a map of Florida, the legend reads 1 inch is 25 miles. If the distance between Tallahassee and Jacksonville is approximately 160 miles, what is the distance on the map in inches between the two cities? So this is for our map, and this is what it is in reality. We know in reality that it is 160 miles. And keep your ratio in the same order. If miles is on the bottom over on the left side, then miles should be on the bottom on the right side as well. So our variable shall be I for inches on the map, I guess. Alright, so multiply 1 times 160, and you get 160. Multiply 25 times I, and you get 25I. Divide both sides by 25. So 160 divided by 25 says that it's 6.4. Now as I look at my answer choices over here, I do see that I do not have a decimal 6.4. And I do see the fraction 6 1/4, and that would be super tempting to choose. But I need to take this 6.4 and change it into a fraction to confirm which of those is actually the answer. 6 4/25. I mean, it's got a 4 in it too, so maybe that's the answer. So if I look at that decimal, 6, so I've got 6 holes, so I can't get rid of anything yet. And 4 is in the tenths place value there. Okay? So right here's where I'm talking about. 6 4/10. I see that 4 and 10 have a common factor of 2. So I divide both of those by 2. And that's going to give me 6 2/5. And when I look over here, that's not it. That's not it. This is it. Correct answer choice for number 1 is C. Question 2. When Laura visited a college campus, she parked her car at the campus center. She was determined that the distance between the campus center and the visitor center was 2.5 inches on the map below. So there it is. So it's 2.5 inches on the map, she says. Okay. Scale is important down here. It says 1/2 inch is 20 yards. So that's going to be one of our ratios in this problem, which is the closest to the actual distance between the campus center and the visitors center. So let's set up a proportion. She says on the map that it's 2.5 inches. And we want to know how far is it in reality. So we'll use a variable for that. Now the scale on the problem on the diagram says that it's 1/2 inch is, I forgot already, that's awesome. 20 yards. Okay. So I'm going to cross multiply. So 1/2 R is equal to 2.5 times 20 is 50. I'm going to divide both sides. You could divide by 1/2 or you can multiply by 2. Remember your grapes of wrath. So I get R. In reality, the distance is 100 yards. Correct answer choice is C. The actual driving distance from W to N is approximately 115 miles. Those look like places in Hawaii. And it is Hawaii. Okay, so we're going from here to here. And we have the question: using the given map and scale, approximate the straight line distance in miles between W, that W, and this N here. And this is actually on the big island of Hawaii, the actual island of Hawaii. So let's look. I'm going to use a line, and let's use that color. Oh, you know what? Okay, so that's how far 25 miles is on my scale. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to rotate it around. Alright, I'm going to move it up here. Okay, so there's one. And I'm sticking my finger. 2. And like less than a third. So we're talking about 2 1/3 of these lines that were 25 miles. So if I take 2 1/3 and multiply it by 25 miles, I see 2 times 25 is 50, and then 1/3 of 24 would be 8. I'm thinking A is the correct answer. Marcus is drawing a scale map of an area in his town similar to the diagram shown below. On his map, Marcus drew the fountain 6 inches. So he's saying on his drawing he drew this 6 inches away from that town hall. The fountain is 6 inches away from town hall. To keep his map to scale, what should be the distance in inches from the post office to the library? Okay, so if you'll write on your picture, that will help you. So I know 100 is reality, 100 meters, and 6 inches is my drawing. This is real. This is my drawing. So over here, I'm looking at, in reality, 150 meters. I don't know how far on the drawing I need to do that, make it. So 6 times 150 is 900, and 100 D is what I get there. Divide both sides by 100, and you get 9 is equal to the D, the distance on the drawing, should be 9 inches. Okay. Number 5, Monty made a scale drawing of his room on grid paper as shown below. If each square on the grid paper represents a side length of 2 feet, what is the length in feet of the longest wall in the room? Now, from appearances, it appears to me that this is the longest side in the room, the longest wall. So here's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and I'm thinking that's probably 17 right there. Now if I wanted to confirm, here's 2, 4, 6, 8. That one's 8. There's no way this one's going to be bigger than that or that. Same thing for this. Same thing for this, okay? Comparing this side to this side, There's no way that's going to be, this side's going to be longer. And same thing here. This one's not going to be longer either. You can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This one's 12. It's not going to be the answer. So let's look at our answer choices. Looking for 17, and there it is. Number 6, Carrie made a scale drawing of her bedroom. So using the scale, how long will Carrie's 6-foot dresser be in the scale drawing if 1/2 inch is 3 feet here? So 1/2 inch is the drawing. In reality, it is 3 feet. We're looking at a dresser that is 6 foot. That is in reality. And we're talking about how big does Carrie need to make it in her drawing, okay? The dresser. So 1/2 times 6 is 3, and 3 times D is 3D. Divide both sides by 3. D is equal to 1. 1 inch looks good. Alright, in the figure below, rectangle ABCD is similar to rectangle EFGD. Remember, let's get the highlighter. Alright, A goes with E because they're in first place together. B and F correspond because they're in second place together. C and G go together because they're in third place together. And then we've got D and D correspond because they are actually the same angle. So, what do you anticipate the problem saying? We've got from here to here is 8, and from here to here is 4. So that means from here to here is 12. From A all the way to D is 12. So the question asks, what is the length of DC from here to here? So I'm going to use a proportion, and I'm going to say 4 is the measurement for this little bitty triangle, and the corresponding side for that, for the big, that's not a triangle, rectangle, is 12. So we got little bitty rectangle, and then we got our big rectangle. Length is 12. And the little bitty rectangle right here is 9. Oops. 9. And we don't know the measurement for this big rectangle there. So we'll use B for the bigger rectangle length. Okay, so 9 times 12 is 108. And then we got 4B. So then 108 divided by 4, I think is 26. Let me check on my calculator. Maybe 27. Yeah, 27. So B is 27. Now here's the catch. That's the length of the whole entire length right there. If it asked for the length from G to C, you could find that by saying, well, that should be 27 minus 9, which would be the length of 18. So let's look and see what it's asking here. Oops, too far. Okay. What is the length of D to C? This is the length from G to C, so we don't want that. D to C was 27, and that's the one that we want. And this question is very similar to the first, or the last question we just did. So here's the proportion, 4 to 11 and 9 to x, cross multiply.